Welcome in to this Monday morning edition, Blue Sky Live. Happy Labor Day edition with you here just after 8 o'clock for the live version of the show. Chase Parham and Neal McCready will put a bow, pretty much already put a bow on it, but we'll put a complete final bow, put it under the tree and everything from Georgia State. Look ahead to Kentucky. A little bit of a novel concept, but we'll look at the Wildcats most of the day, and that's coming Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time there in Lexington between the Rebels and Wildcats. Lane Kiffin, pretty interesting about that last night. So we get into that a little bit. Neil and I just discussing prior to the live version of the show during our very extensive pregame planning for today's
Much plan-
podcast.
so much
Yes,
planning for this show. Just,
so much planning.
I feel like we're overplanned, honestly.
Yes.
I just feel like it's just too structured.
Yeah, in actual honesty, I typically have a notebook with some columns and stuff next to it with some stuff on it. I don't even have that today. We're just
Uh,
gonna talk. So we got lines, we got stuff. We'll get through it.
you should put on a shirt and tie, by the way. If you want to show that you're serious about this football thing, get dressed. Damn, get their hoodie in there. I mean, just you got your cap on, just rolled out of bed.
I
Dressed for
did sleep until I did sleep until the alarm went off at 5:30 this morning. That was impressive. I was pumped.
I slept till 6:45 today because Laura works at a bank and the bank's closed today because of the holiday. Only us hardworking journalists work on Labor Day. And so we got to sleep. It was awesome. I didn't even check
Well,
my.
I'm gonna get into all the stuff in a second. You mentioned the shirt and tie though. It made me laugh because it is the one thing on the internet that I very much can still be made fun of. Let's see how many years later now. 17 years later was when I had that brief stint at ESPN. Tyler Shusky and I we did those. We were pioneers in the video analysis game back before everybody jumped into that. But we would put on sometimes even jackets. We looked like pledges, shirts, ties, and maybe jackets. And we sat on this green couch and did these analysis videos for at the time. I mean, Inside the Grove, which you want to make fun of Inside the Rebels, feel free to go all in on Inside the Grove there. But those are still online somewhere. They are.
You
They
can't
they're
do as
they're
much
they're out there.
you can't do as much damage with Inside the Grove as you can Inside the Rebels.
Because it's an inanimate object or like
Yeah,
whatnot. It's
right.
yeah, it is. It is not a collection of humans or theoretical humans.
Deep Inside the Grove has a completely different connotation than Deep Inside the Rebels.
Oh God! Doors. Chase try kiwi before bed. It'll help your sleep. Haven't heard that before. Okay, maybe a little
I heard that
kiwi
either.
there. Haven't. Yeah, I like kiwi. Fine. So maybe that's a chance. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Let's get through this. Yeah, I got questions everywhere. We'll jump on the stream again. It's Labor Day. We're just going to kind of chat with you guys. First, we'll do that. Blue Sky locations all over the state of Mississippi. Up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. Sweet Daddy stops at most of those locations. Look, they take care of catering, lunch specials, 5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink on the lunch special. Catering options. If there's a Sweet Daddy's, they can hook you up, whether it's family, extended family, or a larger event. Got a lot of kids' activities, school in session. Let them just help you take care of dinner. Again, that's Sweet Daddy's and Blue Sky, and Neil is in the Clarkport studio.
I am Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for our buddy Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you are looking for. He will send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. You'll love the product. You'll love the service. You'll want to be a long-time repeat customer. Ask me how I know. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline this week. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Going to get to some of you guys' comments, questions in the stream. Kyle, see your super chat. Appreciate you as always. I'll get to that in a second. before we do that, just quick though, because I got a little something to give away and an acknowledgement. I mentioned this on the Saturday night show, the MPW Digital post game show. We wrapped up after midnight, sometime after 12 o'clock. But I had a couple things going on, and I mentioned it there. Really appreciate Jeffrey and Siski, not just for their time every single week, but took over as co-host and handled that when I was dealing with a pretty stressful personal situation for a little bit of that show. I was trying to cover it up from you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, but I was frazzled for at least an hour of that program. So Jeffrey, as soon as he knew kind of what was going on, jumped in, said he would take over and pitch it to Siski and keep it between the lines. So just thanks to those guys. I know that you sort of expect them to be there every week, but they are taking a lot of time out of their weekend to make that happen. So just another appreciation on that. And then appreciation for Realtree. We told you we're going to give away a gift card. We will do that right now. I was going to do it yesterday and put a video out. And to be frank, I didn't expect as many of you guys to enter into this contest as you did. I think in my head, it was going to be, I don't know, 50, 60 people, and it was maybe 350, something like that. So we were not going to print out cards, and I was going to draw out of the helmet, and there was way too many entries for me to go to whatever level of work that would have been to make that happen yesterday. So instead, full disclosure, here's what I did. This is for a Realtree.com gift card for week one. Again, we will give prizes every single week of the season. Got a couple big prizes coming later in the year. They're from Realtree. They have a Labor Day sale going on. Make sure you go to Realtree.com, use that Labor Day sale as they're finishing up here on Monday. But what I did is I went to ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT to give me any letter of the alphabet. Then I found all the entrants with that letter as a name, and then I had to pick a person from that letter. They, for week one, gave me the letter L, and the winner of the week one giveaway is Lindsay White. I will be sending you an email here in a little bit. We'll get you that code for that gift card. So Lindsay White, our week one winner for the giveaway. But you guys keep entering. We appreciate you. Again, a lot of folks involved with that. You sort of blew me away with the number of people that participated. So, yep, that's where we are. So again, thanks to Realtree, thanks to Jeffrey Tyler, all you guys, and to Lindsay and all the other people who jumped in. So
let's go, Lindsay. Way to go.
Woo. Yeah, appreciate you. Here's one thing I did do, so everybody knows this moving forward. Outside of one person who is with us every day, and they were really close to the end of the show, the instructions were, I included that person. I said, do it once the show was over, so I eliminated anybody who had done it immediately. Again, that was the rules. I had to find some way to break this thing down. And then I think Neal will completely agree with this one. I eliminated anyone who did not spell Trisket correctly. You had to spell Trisket correctly to be entered into the drawing. There was some TRISKETs, and those were not included in the drawing.
That's not it. You respect Triscuits. I mean, it's one of the most versatile crackers. You should have some respect for a Triscuit. It's not a saltine. It's not a wheat thin. It's got substance to it. It can hold up with any dip. It actually can hold up as a substitute for tortillas with salsa. You can put it in the oven. It will hold up to heat.
And it's way better than the wheat thin.
It's not even in the same ballpark. It's like comparing Ole Miss to Georgia.
Way better than the wheat thin.
If Triscuits played wheat thins in a game, it would be 63-7. So when you misspell it,
wheat thin is the Georgia State of the snack game.
100%. Yes. A Triscuit is a power 4, top of power 4 power. Yeah, Triscuit's a badass. I mean, Triscuit can hold up. You can put it in. You can do so much with it. It's an amazing cracker, and they have
Triscuit. Holler at your boys. We have an avenue to take care of you if you would like to spread the word about your cracker.
I'll say this: it would be truth in advertising.
Neal does legitimately love the Triscuit.
The black pepper flavor is very good too. I like just the plain. Plain's my favorite. Hint of sea salt, excellent. The rosemary one, it's not as versatile, but it's a very good cracker. I'm a fan. I mean, Laura knows when she goes to the store to just buy them. We keep at
Kyle,
least two
again,
boxes
go
at
ahead.
all times. We keep at least 2 boxes of Triscuits in the house at all times.
Kyle, again, thanks for super chat. Says we are in trouble at Alabama. Kyle lives over there in that state. Yes, you are. We talked about that a good bit. We'll continue to talk about that throughout the week. Landon T, how much of a jump is a full marathon from a half marathon? It is more than double. It is a hell of a jump. I could go run a half tomorrow. I couldn't get anywhere near a full marathon right now. So yeah, no, because this is not me being funny or anything else. You run a half and you have every bit of stress on you from the half, and you have to do it again. So it's not double; it is exponential on the difference between those two races.
I'm going to say this to people. It's a PSA. Do with it as you please. It's up to you. I mean, I don't mean this in a negative way when I say I don't care, but do what you want to do. If you're thinking about running the Memphis marathon, the St. Jude's, you need to download Hal Higdon on your phone. You need to set up the app, enter the date, backtrack it, and then you need to follow his training plan religiously, with no exceptions. Religiously. If you'll do that, you will be fine. If you go in with an attitude of, I'm going to wing this, you might be fine. You might be fine.
And you might really not be fine.
Odds are you will not be fine. So you have time. Today is September the 1st. You've got a little over 3 months. If you are capable, if you're capable of running a half marathon today, then you have plenty of time to train for a full marathon. You should download the Hal Higdon, Higdon app. Set it for training for a marathon on December the 6th or whatever that is. And then you need to follow that training plan religiously.
You also need to fuel and hydrate correctly. That is what will knock your freaking socks off in a negative way come race day if you're not hydrated and fueled correctly. Do not avoid that part of it in addition to the plan. Somebody asked, how far do you need to run right now if you're just considering the marathon? I think you, at bare minimum, have got to be able to run a 10K comfortably to get there in 3 months.
I think that's true. If you can get outside today and run 6 miles without being dead,
you can finish the marathon in 3 months without being embarrassing.
Yes, but you're gonna have to set up a training program and you're gonna have to follow it religiously. And then here's an extra tip: a course like Memphis is pretty flat. The weather won't be a factor in that it won't be hot. If you want to practice at least some of the time your hydration and you can stand it, you should run on a treadmill. Because you can practice the every 2 miles water, and then at 10 miles rotating the water and the Gatorade. You can put those things on your machine and you can literally simulate race day to a degree. Those are your marathon tips. Take them or leave them. I wish you the best. I've done it already. I'm not doing it again. So whatevs.
All right, let's wrap this thing up, and I think we'll be very, very quick with this part of it. Georgia State was a bad football team. They were, relative to what a Division I team should look like, they were out of shape. They were fairly slow. I did think Rashad Amos ran very hard against the Rebels.
He did.
Thought he was pretty good on Saturday. Thought he was pretty decent. They could not throw the football at all.
Nope.
Ole Miss did not receive a test in the secondary, although I guess they passed whatever little test there was there in the secondary. Got snap counts up at the site at Rebels 24/7. You can find those. I've got notes on every position group as far as what they accomplished. I want to point out one thing though that we really haven't talked about in coverage, and that's not a pun, but it is coverage that I want to talk about for just a second. I want to go to it to make sure I have this right because I thought this was kind of interesting. Another just point, number one, Nick Cole played way more than I thought Nick Cole was going to play. That was a name we didn't discuss a ton during camp. He played 43 snaps in the opener there at defensive back. And then TJ Banks, again, was injured in the shooting, didn't know what his availability is going to be. He played 39 snaps and was only targeted one time with no receptions. He played exceptionally well on Saturday night there at safety. And then Chris Graves played a lot too. He ended up playing 36 snaps. That was the second most out of any corner, and he was not thrown at in his 36 snaps. So again, sometimes it's not about targets or how many you avoided. It's about how many times they never threw your direction to start with. That's how you grade inside these snap counts and some of the target stuff that we give you from a snap count analysis in these games. Because Trey Amos, a lot of times, it would be like, oh, well, he only defended. Yeah, because nobody threw his freaking way, is the thing, is he just shut it down and they looked somewhere else and they went there with Trey Amos last year. So sometimes targets tell you what is going on with the defensive backfield. But just quick thought there. Jaden Yates played more than we had discussed during camp and did really well doing so at linebacker. That's the Marshall transfer. And then I was asked this during the site, Neil. You all right over there? You struggling?
You'll know in a minute. You'll see.
Oh, I already know. I could see your face and knew exactly what it was that you were referring.
Completely unnecessary today.
Does Ole Miss? My question to you here, and then we'll kind of move on because Graves did have a pass interference, but whatever, we'll forgive him. I'm kind of like a Chris Graves guy. Like I think he has ball skills where I keep kind of thinking he's going to put it together. I stay there, and I'm going to live and die with that throughout the season. Does Ole Miss need another defensive lineman to step up? They're very, very good in the middle with that front line, but there's not much depth there. I mean, they're kind of sort of begging a guy like Andrew Maddox, which probably isn't fair as a freshman, to take that next step. I do want to kind of see over time to see where they get an extra body along that defensive front, or what kind of happens if they, hopefully not, but have some sort of injury to one of those top guys. Turkey asking, did Xavier Harris get his chain back? It ended up being Deshaun Womack. Lane clarified that during his Zoom with local media last night. It was Womack, and it was broken, but he did get it back. Yes, the chain was returned. It was thrown in the stands. It came back. I'm asking this legitimately, Neil, because we just mentioned Georgia State did not even look prepared from a physical standpoint. I think you and I were both kind of opining that Hugh Jackson, the level of fall that he has had inside the football world is so immense. Could you acclimate, or could you show worse than they did in every way? You have a player go over, rip a chain off an opposing player, transfer from Auburn. You have all this pregame stuff. You get beat 63-7. You're out of shape. You're unprepared. You can't throw there was nothing about them that looked like they were a competent football program on Saturday night. It is still amazing that they beat Vanderbilt last year.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I looked at their schedule late third quarter, just looked at it, and I thought they won't win a Sun Belt game. And they probably won't. They get like ULM maybe one. They odds are they won't win a Sun Belt game. They're bad. And I don't mean that to take anything away from Ole Miss. I actually walked away higher on Ole Miss than I was after camp. But I'm not going to be one of these people that, like, this will be my final statement ever on the Georgia State game. The game had no redeeming value at all. It's not Ole Miss's fault. And Lane talked about this. Lane said his players handled that situation pregame better than he would have. Probably better than I would have. Credit to the team. I thought it showed something about their maturity, because that could have been a brawl. That could have been an absolute
Dude walks
brawl.
into the whole Ole Miss team. They're all just walking in a line to their tunnel.
And I don't know that he targeted Womack. I think he just looked for someone that he could grab. He must have thought this was going to get everybody all fired up, get Ole Miss distracted. I don't know what he thought. I'm not sure that he's particularly capable of thinking. But I think it's a perfect segue to where we're going next with our conversation, because I asked Lane last night on the Zoom, are you glad you're moving into this portion of your schedule earlier than you did a year ago? Because last year, and obviously it wasn't your fault, the way the schedule worked out, but you weren't challenged at all until the Kentucky game. I mean, like, not at all. And sometimes that can lead to a false sense of security or a team not just not being prepared. And Lane, I don't even think it was begrudgingly. I think he admitted, and the story's up at rebels247.com. It's back in the number 1 spot. He admitted that, yeah, you know, he in fact, Chase, said that Austin Simmons' 2 interceptions in the first half on Saturday was more adversity than they had the entire 4 games combined last season. It's
an amazing comment. Two first quarter picks in a game they couldn't lose.
He had a Freudian slip. He referred to it first as preseason, and then he caught himself. And he went,
"Oh, did he really?"
Yeah, and I mean, I'll let him in the quote. I just let him correct it, but it was a slip, and it wasn't. Hey, look, it wasn't his fault. He wasn't the one that scheduled Mercer and Middle Tennessee and Georgia Southern, and it's not his fault that Wake Forest sucked. But that's what they played. And so when they played Kentucky that day at the end of September, that team strutted into the stadium. They had literally beaten our message board would delete this word. They would put asterisk in it because you can't say. They'd beaten the absolute hell out of those teams. They had every reason to think, we're invincible. This is easy. Meanwhile, Kentucky had played Georgia and South Carolina, 2 teams that ended up being pretty good. And Georgia was a lot more battle tested. And by the time that game got going, it was shock. And you know the rest. I mean, we talked a good bit about Kentucky last night, to the point that I don't have a hell of a lot to add today in terms of writing. I thought that we got to the crux of the matter last night. It was interesting. We'll talk about it in a minute, I'm sure. But I think Ole Miss is really good, but Georgia State's really bad. And so until you play teams that are better, and that's coming soon, you can't say with any degree of certainty what you know.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the other comments from Lane, especially regarding the Kentucky game. Take a look a little more at Kentucky in the next segment and get to lines after that here on today's show. We'll take a quick break, tell you about Chicory Market, chicorymarket.com. Go to the events page. Again, Friday supper clubs for all home football games. I did the one on Friday. It was outstanding, 4-course meal. Not just saying that, it was really, really good. We had multiple listeners to the podcast that brought groups in. Good to meet some of you guys and have a great meal. So you should take advantage of that. I'll make a post on the board today with some pictures, some things from the meal. But again, chicorymarket.com is where you go. And if you just stop by a grocery store, they have tons of local produce, great ingredients, and more. And inside Chicory Market is Johnson Hill Creamery, johnsonhillcreamery.com, or directly from the Chicory Market page. Again, get those tailgate platters for every game moving forward with Johnson Hill Creamery. The charcuterie is my favorite, the grazing, all the different options there, sandwiches, desserts, and plenty more. Just stop in to pick up some great ingredients. Again, located inside Chicory Market. That's johnsonhillcreamery.com.
We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. Oxford locals, Ole Miss families. If you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016. Lapel's takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to their pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, right across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention Rebels 24/7 or MPW Digital for 50% off your first order. Trust Lapels to keep you looking your best. We're presented by ENT Physicians of North Mississippi as the largest private ENT practice in the state. Their goal is simple: delivering fast, expert, comprehensive care for patients of all ages with ENT, allergy, sinus, dizziness, balance, and voice-related needs. With same-day or next-day appointments with ENT urgent care for that annoying cough or sore throat, in-office CT scans and same-day allergy testing, and access to their comprehensive audiology team offering a full range of services from hearing aids and custom hearing protection to potential surgical options. ENT physicians of North Mississippi are committed to removing barriers to care. They now have new locations in New Albany and Starkville, in addition to Tupelo, Corinth, and more. Get more details at entnorthmississippi.com or call 662-844-6513. 10 weekend thoughts are up. I got up around 5 o'clock yesterday. I waited till the South Carolina game was in the bag for the Gamecocks. That's up at 24/7, rebels247.com. Are you retiring? They're brought to you by Andrew Sego Wealth Management. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with a personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego with Sego Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting. See what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com.
Podcast also brought to you by Horn Legend, hornlegend.com, our outfitter for the fall and beyond. Great polos, great sports shirts. In addition, just kind of the garb that we were getting and already had. Neil wanting even more of them. We talked about that late last week there in the polos especially. So you can't go wrong. Hornlegend.com, the way to get outfitted with the collegiate collection for Ole Miss games, white, blue, whatever it is you need from a color, or just the prints and patterns that they have there on the website. They include more all the time. And whatever you're looking for, you can find a color palette that makes sense for you. So again, whether it be the sports shirts that I love so much for a little dressier option, the polos and more, hornlegend.com. So get into a little more last night. So Lane, you asked the questions to kind of start off the Kentucky. I guess he mentioned Kentucky, and then you took that as an entryway into the Kentucky questions. You've wondered for weeks now, maybe not even if he believed it, but if he would say it out loud, that Kentucky had stayed on his mind throughout the offseason, and he definitely gave you an affirmative answer in that context.
Yeah, let me pull up the quote. I thought it was interesting. I give him credit for being transparent. I always typically, I think it's where Lane actually is really good. Lane in press conference settings is, I'll probably get scolded today a little bit, or not, maybe not, because that's supposed to, that press conference, the Zoom call is supposed to be about the previous day's game. And the only question I had about the previous day's game was what happened pregame. Was it? What are we talking about? It was 63-7. What are we doing? If we left the starters in, it would have been 107-7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are we doing? We're going to continue to write about that? Why? Move on. The next game's the big game. And so I asked him, he brought up Kentucky. And I just kind of asked him, hey, you've referenced that game a lot over the last year. Is that a game that I'd contemplated using the word haunted, but I was afraid that the word haunted would be too easily dismissed? Because, like, what does that really mean? The more I thought about it, the more I thought that's a bad question. And so I said, is that a game that kind of stuck with you? I know all losses sting, but did that one, was it more difficult to move on from it? And he says it was horrible on all fronts. He said, so many things went their way. It was really hard to deal with. I just didn't think we played that well either. It just all sucked. And then at one point, he said, it's been a long year since playing these guys a year ago. We spent a lot of time in the offseason on these guys, and hopefully that'll help. You don't normally, kudos, man, seriously. Thank you for being honest. You don't normally get coaches, this is 2 years in a row, that Lane Kiffin admitted that a particular loss resonated for different reasons. The year before, they lost to Georgia there, and they got blown out. They got physically manhandled, and it led to a moment of truth and clarity.
We have to get better, bigger, faster, stronger, everything.
Yeah, there was no excuse. There was no, oh boy, just didn't catch a break. What if? No, nope, just got beat. They're
to
better
the point
than
of after they lost the Georgia game, they were still just 10-2, and he goes, "Guys, we're not a playoff team." Did you watch that? That's a playoff team.
Yes,
No,
precisely. And to that point, right, because he was asked something about playoffs, and he goes, "We're not a playoff team. Come on. You just saw this. I mean, you saw it. We're not a playoff team." And it's one of the reasons that they quickly moved into, hey, let's just figure out this Mississippi State game. Let's get through it. Let's jump into the portal. We'll play whatever bowl game. And they got real momentum going into last season. And the Kentucky game haunts him because that was a playoff team. Unlike 2023, when Ole Miss was not a playoff caliber team, and it wasn't. In 2024, it was. And the reason they didn't get there, and different games haunted different people. Like I've talked to people who say it's the LSU game that haunted Jackson Dart. But the Kentucky game, I think, is the one that sticks with Lane Kiffin because it was one that they absolutely should have had. Kentucky went 1-7 in the league. And that was the game that on the resume, when Lane was trying to make a compelling late November argument, that was the thing that anyone who was a detractor, and it was easy, just went, you lost to Kentucky at home. At which point you'd go, yeah, you're right. He's kind of done it. And he admitted that stuck with him. He talked about how it was at 11 o'clock, which meant it was over at 2 o'clock, and you couldn't just go to sleep. I think he just wanted to crawl into a dark hole somewhere and sleep, but it was too early in the day. And that it was something they've had to live with, and they spent a lot of time on Kentucky and where this is on the schedule. And, I mean, it's a huge game on so many ways. This game, he talked about how the last 4 times these teams have played, including 3 while he's the coach, it's come down to the final play. And it has. And there's a certain pattern there. I will say that the last time that Ole Miss circled a game and focused on it for a year, they blew the other team out. They blew out Georgia at home. And it kind of was a blowout, if we're honest.
it was.
And so this is an interesting, you and I talked about this pre-show. This is an interesting 2-week moment coming up for Ole Miss. Because they play a Kentucky team that beat them a year ago, that really in some ways ruined their season. They go up there and play, and then a week later, they have to turn around and play a team, Arkansas, that they absolutely blew out, just destroyed, mauled, humiliated, embarrassed, whatever word you want to use. And you got to get back home to play them, and it stands to reason that Arkansas probably circled that game against Ole Miss as like, look, let's at least save some reputation here.
Let's show some pulse here, guys.
Yeah, let's show a little pride. And you're going to have a hard time convincing your guys that, hey, this team that you beat 63 to whatever it was, they can beat you. I mean, good luck. And so this is an interesting couple of weeks. But this Kentucky game's big. I mean, you lose, I'm going to keep it real. You lose to Kentucky in Lexington on Saturday, you're not going to the playoff. You're just not. You can do some spinning and all that stuff. And I shouldn't do this because what we do for media, our best bet is that, hey, everybody's still engaged as long as possible. You lose to Kentucky on Saturday, you're not going to the playoff.
That being said, you're laying the points on Saturday.
All of them.
Yeah. We'll get to those in a minute, but yes.
I mean,
the last time this game wasn't close in the final minutes against Kentucky? Yeah, you do. Think about it. When was the last time in this series?
2011. That game was done.
30-13 in Lexington. The Wildcats. That was the day before they actually announced Houston was out. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. That was the night. Houston never said my name.
That's right. It was that night.
He hated me. I think he absolutely hated me. And I think, what's interesting? By then, it's a little trip down memory lane. I think by then he'd realized that he'd kind of been lied to about me. Because that year, while everybody else got vitriolic, I just kind of moved on. It wasn't personal to me. I wasn't mad at him. Other people were mad at him. You embarrassed me. You let me down. He didn't let me down. I didn't care. And so that day I said, hey, Houston, it was after the game. We did the press conference sort of standing up underneath the stadium. It was weird. There was no media thing. It was kind of dark. And I said, do you anticipate being the coach at Ole Miss next year? Something along those lines. And he said, Neal, it's not up to me. And I like, you said my name. Wow.
And a very honest answer.
Gave me an honest answer, and I knew the answer was, and in fairness to him, I think he knew that I knew the answer, but I was asking in a way. I remember because that was the night LSU and Alabama were supposed to play the game of the century in Tuscaloosa, and I called you and I said, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but we got.
You basically told me don't get too far off in the bourbon here tonight in the second half of this game. Like let's stay a little more lucid than that, just in case.
Yeah, I think that's what I did tell you. I was like, hey, just in case, don't get drunk.
Yeah.
And I waited until I think we got word late that night where I felt better about it that, hey, this is probably going down tomorrow, not tonight.
Because we went ahead and had all the hot boards and outlines and all that stuff done that next morning when it was our week or whatever. Because that was when Keith Burns got up and did the thing in front of the media about how good of a guy Houston was. A little bit of I'm reading the stream here for a second, and then we'll kind of move on. Flippin' Rev said there was a bye week before Florida, playoffs on the line. They should not have been hung over. They weren't hung over from Kentucky with Florida. They had a weird game against Florida on the road against a good team and a good quarterback and just got beat. Like, it was – if they play that game 10 times, Ole Miss probably wins 7, but they did – or 8, but they didn't win that one. And it was – they had the Yam Banks gets hurt on that first play in the end zone, and then you have the turnover. It just was a weird day. And you're going to have some weird days in college football. Yeah.
Trey came back and gave him a lift, and then he got hurt quickly, and I thought that took a lot of wind out of the sails.
Dart kind of panicked and got emotional a little bit. Couldn't run the ball, the whole Micah Davis thing. Just
you'll never convince me that Dart wasn't slightly concussed.
Yeah. He was hurt a lot.
I have no proof that he was concussed, but I believe it.
Yeah.
I've heard that he was. I'll say that.
Kentucky beats Toledo on Saturday. Pretty lackluster effort there from the Wildcats against the Rockets.
It was okay. I watched a lot. I watched a lot of it. So it was the one game that I made myself kind of watch because I'm like, hey, you're going to be talking about this team next week. You need to watch this game because some of the other games that got super hyped were kind of boring. Being honest.
Okay, hold on real quick. Because you're going to say Kentucky looked better than I'm giving them credit for being, and that's fine.
No.
Do that.
Not what I'm going to say.
Toledo outgains them 329 to 305. Kentucky throws for 85 yards to the point that a couple of the really pro beat writers for the Wildcats were writing the stories yesterday about going, well, but this one was dropped, and this one was out of bounds, and this was on a pass interference, and it's like, oh my God, like what are we doing right now? Sure, but holy hell, like you have to stop at this moment. Total plays, average yards per play, Toledo 4.8, Kentucky 4.6. Now they did run the piss out of it, 220 for Kentucky on the ground. They can run the ball. Running back's pretty good. Therefore, the Wildcats, it's Dowdell from Mississippi. Ole Miss is very familiar with him. Picayune, am I right on that? Maybe I'm wrong.
I think that's correct.
He went 14 for 129 and 1, but Calzada was pretty bad. 10 of 23, 85, a pick, no touchdowns. He was actually much better against Ole Miss back in 21 as a true freshman. I guess at A&M back then during his lot of stops. Kentucky did get 3 sacks defensively. They fumbled a couple times. They lost one of them. It was a mediocre effort there in the opener for Kentucky against Toledo.
Yeah, I think you can make the argument after I watched I watched Mississippi State some. They had Arkansas on in the press box when I got there because Ole Miss was coming on that network afterwards. I think you can make a legitimate argument that Kentucky's the worst team in the league. I think Arkansas is better. My
State looked better on Saturday.
My gut feeling is Mississippi State's better, but they're going to have to prove it to me a little bit before I give them that designation because they were so bad a year ago. Sure. All I'm saying about Kentucky is that I do think they're improved on defense. I do think they're big enough up front and they run the ball well enough to eat some clock. I don't think receivers are going to be just sprinting free the way they were against Georgia State. I think Kentucky's secondary is worlds better than Georgia State's. And while I won't do the Calzado is close to having a big game, no, I won't do that. But there were 3 or 4 throws that were basically there that had they been converted, we would be having a slightly different conversation about him. He was bad, but I would say that he was not as bad as the numbers make him look bad.
He was merely mediocre, not awful.
I'm laying the points. Okay? I would lay double the points. But I'm simply saying Kentucky would beat the shit out of Georgia State.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm just that's all I'm trying to do is, it was one of my problems with the weekend with some of the homer types. See, Austin's better than Arch. Okay, he probably is. But we're basing this on a really bad sample size, like a phenomenally bad sample size. It's like 2 guys that you put in a kitchen and you go, all right, we're going to have a competition. You cook with filet, you cook with Spam. All right, my money's on the filet guy. So
have you seen? Back in the day. I promise I'm going to finish. I'm doing the stupid podcast thing right now. They used to do a video. They would do that. It was really interesting. They would give home cooks all these fantastic ingredients to work with, and then they would give the premier chef like $10 at Walmart to do it.
Yep.
And then have a taste test. It was really interesting. It was kind of fun to watch how that came out. Yeah, sorry.
But I mean, here's what we don't know. What would Arch Manning have looked like quarterbacking against Georgia State on Saturday? And what would Austin Simmons have looked like at noon in Columbus, Ohio?
Arch has some flaws. He also was facing a hellaciously good back 7 in Matt Patricia calling plays, who had been preparing for him for months. Yeah.
As opposed to whatever Georgia State did, which was whatever. Ooh. That's my only and I realize that it's hot takes, it's overreactions, it's a big part of today's media world. It's just kind of what we do. Not what we do, it's what everybody else does. Literally, I had the conversation this week where someone was throwing out bold predictions or absurd predictions, and I was like, why would you do absurd predictions? What's the point? I don't understand.
The bad sign for Kentucky is, as you mentioned, they had a hard time stopping Toledo in a pass game situation, and Austin's obviously better than whatever the hell Toledo put out there. And Toledo's quarterback went 23 for 40 for 270 on Saturday. That is the stat that would really worry me about trying to stay in this game if I were the Wildcats.
Yeah, and what you don't know about Toledo, and we'll learn over time, is, Toledo won an SEC game last year. Now, it was against Mississippi State, but Toledo would beat the shit out of Georgia State. That's my point. I mean, I'm not trying to, again, I'm taking Ole Miss and laying the point Saturday. That's done. So before anybody thinks that I'm saying something I'm not saying,
quick on that. We'll look at the other games after the break, but we'll go ahead and get to this one. Ole Miss, Kentucky. This game opened at 10.5, I believe, or 11, and it is currently sitting at 9.5 or 10, depending on your favorite book. Rebels by 9.5 or 10 there in Lexington. Neal wins the imaginary prize from Saturday night when we were guessing lines. I think he said 11 or 12, and it opened at 10.5. But again, a little bit of early money on Kentucky as it's at 9.5 right now.
I don't know what those people are thinking. I think they're just seeing double-digit SEC
road home team, blah blah blah.
Well, and if you do the series thing, it's always been close.
You do not believe that DK Metcalf's game has any interpretation of this game for Saturday, however.
No, I just sort of feel like when I say this, I don't know Lane Kiffin, but I feel like I've covered him long enough to sort of know him, if you will. And I have found that when a game sticks with him, he gets fixated on it, and when he's fixated on it, they're pretty damn good. I mean,
admitting you spent off-season time on Kentucky.
Yeah.
Of all the games you got on the schedule, we went on Kentucky for a while in the off-season. And I get you look at every team to some extent, but there's 2 to 3 that you really go, okay, let's take a beat. And he could have looked at Kentucky all last week and not looked at Georgia State, and it would have been fine on Saturday. He didn't need to scheme up the Panthers.
Although I don't think that's what they did. I think they treated Georgia State like a real game because they needed to get into the routine of real games. But yeah, I mean, it had bandwidth with him in the offseason, and he admitted it. He's had a couple of those. 2020, that Arkansas loss sort of stuck with him, and in 2021, even though they damn near lost the game, it came down to a 2-point play where if Arkansas scores, they win. But offensively, Ole Miss was elite that day against Arkansas. So my anticipation is that Ole Miss will be really good on Saturday.
52-51. Is that game?
Is that what that was? It's something like that.
51,
yeah, that was
50, 52-51.
That was a crazy game. Both Matt Corral and KJ Jefferson just put up arcade numbers.
That was the game where when it's over, Lane just went to a knee. It was like, oh God, it's over. Jesus. It just, yeah. It was great.
Yeah, people tried to hug him, and he looked at him like, what are you doing?
Gave up 50.
We gave up 51 points. If they score right there, we lose. There was a game that was literally a 2-point play out of your control where you could have lost an SEC game where you scored 52 points in regulation. Sam Pittman, with Cam Little as his kicker, kicks an extra point. That's overtime. My money's on Cam and the extra point.
He's never missed an extra point, high school, college, or pros. He's literally never missed an extra point.
He's really good.
Yeah. I saw that in one of the preseason games that for some reason
my money's on Cam Little having a really big year, and I'll tell you why. Because I know him a little bit, and there was a magazine ranking that came out that didn't have him as one of the top 20 kickers in the league, and he had cut it out, retweeted it. The whole day he was completely locked in on.
He did the MJ, and I took that personal.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, yeah. But literally, that game, you score 52 points. But the point was that he had circled that game, and offensively, they were elite. They were. Matt was great that day. Mm-hmm. And so when when they circle a game, they're really good. And this feels like a game that Lane's got circled.
For a couple different reasons. Happy to announce a new partner, the firm located in Oxford. They're Liberty Mutual and Safeco Insurance Agency representative, and they're sponsoring our internship program this year. I've been really focused on getting interns more involved, giving us some younger voices to teach us. Neil and I getting on up there a little bit, don't always know all the ins and outs of how to connect with the younger generation. We had a little get together with a lot of those impressive young people recently. Got more on the way, so happy somebody putting some effort behind them and with us. We'll tell you they're founded by Ole Miss alum Brian Hayden. The firm is located in Oxford. Again, services the entire Southeastern Conference footprint. So I have to just be inside all of our markets to use their services. A proud Liberty Mutual and Safeco Insurance Agency representative. Your solution for home and auto insurance, commercial and agricultural insurance, as well as retirement planning, tax strategies, and plenty more. Consultation by calling 662-236-1101 or emailing staff@thefirmsouth.com. That's 662-236-1101 or email staff@thefirmsouth.com.
Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, and more. If you're looking for jewelry for a gift, they've got you covered. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler. We're presented by the College Corner. They got plenty of polos and tees in stock, more than 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear in Oxford. So if you're heading up to Lexington, make sure you stop by the College Corner first. They've got the location at the Oxford Commons across from the new Chick-fil-A. Also, they've got a location in Ridgeland by Fleet Feet, in Flowood by the Half Shell. All the brands you're looking for: Nike, Horn Legend, Champion, Antigua. And you can always visit collegecornerstore.com. Chase doesn't know this, but tomorrow, maybe after the show, Kaiser Flooring coming in, getting started on the project here in our house. You can kick up the cozy in your home this season with new floors from Kaiser Flooring. As certified installers, they're proud to offer a wide range of options, including heated tile. In fact, did you know they even build showers, offering a lifetime warranty against leaking? So wherever you stand in your home, stand confidently thanks to the specialist at Kaiser Flooring. Check them out in Oxford or Batesville. Check them out online, also at kaiserflooring.com. And please, in the event, as you should, you decide to use Kaiser for flooring, for carpeting, whatever the case may be, make sure you tell them that you heard about it on MPW Digital. That will help you and us. We're also brought to you by Argent Wealth. They're based in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Argent, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. Regardless of your level of wealth, Argent will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's myargentwealth.com. And we're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to provide his clients with added values, unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. Get in touch with John and give him a budget, give him some parameters, and he will help you create a special trip that makes a lifetime of unique memories. 901-494-3387, or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net.
Podcast also brought to you by New Albany Pharmacy and Solutions. That's newalbanypharmacy.com, the website to go see all their different services. It's an updated website that gives you a ton more information there, located 140 Fairfield Drive in New Albany. You can contact them at 662-539-7777. It's a family-owned pharmacy with excellent service, wide range of gifts for all ages, as well as home decor, jewelry, and plenty more. Tell them you heard about them from MPW Digital and get 15% off any non-medical purchase. Again, Fairfield Drive in New Albany, newalbanypharmacy.com. Flippin' Rebs has had this discussion with a buddy. Is the Florida State Tomahawk Chop the best college hand motion sign in the country? I can't think of one better off the top of my head, unless you just want to. I mean, Texas bugs me as a state with all their hand signs, so I can't give them the championship no matter what, just because they all feel the need to be involved and have their own little secret handshake, if you will. So struggling with that one with them. TCU North Carolina tonight. Bill Belichick's debut as a college coach in this new era. They are getting 3.5 tonight against the TCU Horned Frogs. So TCU minus 3.5 against Bill and his Tar Heels.
Is Patterson still at TCU?
No, he's been done.
Is he done? Who's the coach at TCU now?
I know this, and I'm like outside of you asking me. Oh, Sonny Dykes. Yeah, I knew that.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about that?
Why were you asking that?
I don't know. I just was thinking about that game when you mentioned it. I was asking myself, is that one you'll watch? And I was quickly telling you no.
You don't care.
There's not enough. Like last night, that ad came on, and Laura said, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's their coach now." And she's like, "When did that happen?" And I said, "No, back in January or whatever." She goes, "Is he still with that young girl?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that was the extent of the conversation. So that's it. I don't know why I'm relaying that. That was just That was the extent of our college football conversation.
But that was the question and what was known. That was it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay. There is no Thursday night game this week because college football was smart enough to go, nope, not messing with that one. So we're going to leave that alone. Let the NFL have the kickoff on Thursday night.
I mean, that's like going up and snatching a chain. It's just dumb. I mean, you're not going to help you at all. There's no.
That's the best. I mean, last thing on the chain thing, but that's the best part is you look and go, hold on, like, what did you hope to accomplish there? Please give me the good thing that was about to happen at that moment.
It told me everything about their team. Like, literally, had I seen that happen, I would have gone, oh, okay, well, I knew this was going to be the case, but now I really know this is the case.
And the fact that they asked Deshaun, do you want to press charges? No, I'm good. It's fine. Feels like a lot of effort. Okay. Because, he's in shock going, what? Am I on camera? Like, what just happened? What was that? And I said on Saturday it would have been really dumb to take Xavier Harris's chain. It's equally dumb to take Deshaun Womack's chain. That is a large human being.
Yeah,
if you're going to take somebody's chain, go take Lucas Canero's chain, I guess. But like, what are we doing? No offense, Lucas, you're one hell of a kicker.
The level of stupidity on that is just astronomical.
It's mind-boggling.
Astronomical. So just
do we know what Lane actually said to him? Do we know Lane's words?
I don't. I was in my mind. I was like, I'm going to write one story tonight, not two. Am I writing about the chain or I'm writing about Kentucky?
In Kentucky.
And I probably got it wrong. I'm sure that the chain has a much better chance of going viral with, hot take media and media. But I was like more, if I were an Ole Miss fan, would I rather read more about the chain or more about the fact that Ole Miss spent a significant portion of the offseason focusing on Kentucky, with Kentucky coming up in 6 days? And I said, I'd rather hear about Kentucky. So that's what I wrote about. Maybe I'm wrong.
On Saturday, North Carolina State -3 against Virginia. Is Doran and the Wolfpack bad this year? They just average.
I don't know. I've not seen them or read anything about them yet.
Texas is going to look much better on Saturday. They are hosting San Jose State, where they are a 35-point favorite against the Spartans.
Yeah, the premature hurrying of Texas is their defense is really good.
It is. They were very good defensively.
The young quarterback will probably figure it out a little bit. Now, was he overhyped? Of course. The part that bothers me about that is that he didn't do that to himself.
No.
Everybody else did that to him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why that
bugs.
Maybe it does. Maybe it's because I have kids that age, roughly, and I think he didn't ask for that. And that's part of, having that name. And I understand why the media talks about him a lot. I mean, his two uncles combined to win 4 Super Bowls. And all the jokes from the Dan Wilkins of the world about, hey, he's got more commercials than he does completions. Well, I mean, in this era, is he supposed to turn the commercials down? You wouldn't criticize the quarterback at any other place for doing those commercials. You wouldn't.
No, you were all about the kids getting paid until you can use it as a punchline.
If Lenore Sellers did all those commercials, you wouldn't criticize Lenore Sellers for doing those commercials.
Yeah. Are you going to be locked into the Cyhawk Trophy at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning?
Normally I would be.
You're on the road. Yeah.
But I'll be on the road, and I'll be having to get to the stadium. So probably not.
Iowa State -3.5. Matt Campbell and his Cyclones against Iowa.
Okay. What network's that on?
Don't know. Don't have that in front of me.
And I might find it on my computer when I get there.
UConn Syracuse will be the barn burner on Saturday. Got that at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Baylor SMU. Not the dumbest game in the world. SMU minus 2.5 in Highland Park against the Bears.
That's a good game.
Pretty good game.
I thought Baylor played well against Auburn in the parts that I watched. I just thought Auburn was the better team.
There's no doubt. Yeah, Baylor was fine.
Yeah.
Fine's the word. They're not winning the Big 12.
No, but they did some good. They did some good things.
Illinois only giving Duke 3 on Saturday. Kind of like the Illini and Durham to cover that one. Is there an injury or something I'm unaware of? I know Manny's a good coach, but I like Illinois on the road Saturday.
I think the consensus is Duke's going to be pretty good because they have the quarterback.
Yeah.
Mensa.
Give him Tulane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said SMU opened at 4.5, so it's gone down a little bit since then. I keep getting confused every week when Texas A&M is on the slate against teams, because that's a name change for the university. That's Texas A&M Commerce.
Oh.
That's now East Texas A&M.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped the Commerce.
Yeah, Commerce is gone. They're just East Texas A&M now. They play Florida State on Saturday. There is no line.
Nor should there be.
Texas A&M, Utah State, 11:45. The Aggies get to roll to 2-0, although there was a few cracks in the facade on Saturday against the Beep Beeps. It wasn't pristine for 4 quarters. Not burying them, not doing anything else, just pointing it out as I had that on.
I did not watch any of Texas A&M. I can't comment on the Aggies. I'm just glad. I am glad that I resisted the Kool-Aid. It was there. It looked amazing, but turns out that it's Kool-Aid.
Wake Forest gets to go to 2-0 playing Western Carolina, but let's point out that Wake Forest beat Kennesaw State 10-9 in the opener last weekend. The Demon Deacons.
This is an opportunity for the Catamounts.
It's an opportunity for the Catamounts.
I give Wake credit. Wake everybody here's mad at them, and I understand why. It put Ole Miss in a bind. But Wake looked at this iteration of college football and said it's not for us. Right off the bat.
Going to Oxford and getting our head kicked in by Ole Miss, this serves us no purpose.
There's a clause in the contract that lets us out. We're exercising it. Yeah, we look bad doing it, but you know what? It's the right thing for us to do.
Yeah, we would have looked bad getting beat 56-3 that day too.
Yeah, I understand why people here are upset at them. I get it. On the flip side, I sort of think they did the right thing.
Ole Miss, Kentucky, Kansas, Missouri. Those two hate each other. That's in Columbia on Saturday. The border war for whatever reason. They call it that. Missouri a 6.5-point favorite against Jalen Daniels and the Jayhawks.
They hate each other.
Yes.
Missouri fans get mad at Gabe because he capitalizes the K in Kansas.
Oh, no, is that true?
That's a real thing.
They want him to lowercase the state?
Yes, and he explains to them that would be horrifically bad journalism. No.
They're mad about the capitalization.
Yes, you're not supposed to capitalize Kansas.
So a sneaky good basketball environment would be Kansas-Missouri basketball if you can go the border war in hoops.
Not sneaky good, just freaking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Okay. Neil's Fresno State Bulldogs are at Oregon State this weekend, 1.5 there for the Beavers. He's been a fan since that trip back in 2011 or 2010.
Love me some Fresno, California, man. Wow.
Yeah. Wear green. Wear green.
Yeah.
Stay away from some other colors at times.
And body armor.
Oh, Clemson giving 32 to the Troy Trojans on Saturday.
I got a hot take. I thought Clemson LSU was just a great game.
It's a good game. No, it was a great game.
You watched it late the other night. I I had it on my computer, and as the Ole Miss game got away, I kind of watched it. As the Ole Miss game got away, right when the contract was signed. I just thought it was. I thought it was a heavyweight fight. I did. If you told me that those two teams see each other again in January, I'd completely buy it.
Dabo is getting kind of. It's easy to hate on Dabo, and I don't like Dabo. He gets on my nerves too. I think he's annoying in so many different ways. But at the same time, he did what he should have done for his program the other day. He got asked about all the losses against SEC teams recently, or Power Four teams, or whatever the hell he was. He was asked, and he pointed out, as he should, as the head coach of Clemson, that they have winning records against every other league. If you want to pick that sample size, that you're simply picking a sample size to fit your argument. And look, is he missing the point? Sure, but he's also doing exactly what he should be doing as the head coach. I do not criticize him in any capacity for his answer on Saturday.
Well, I mean, but in fairness to Dabo, let's discuss the long list of other programs non-SEC that have winning records against the SEC.
He's probably it, or at least close to it.
You know.
Our resident Missouri fan, Adam, says, Mizzou fan here. The rivalry goes back to the Civil War. Definitely basketball rivalry outside of the 2007 game at Arrowhead. So, okay. Yeah, that is the one thing. I'm with Mark. Like, he was fine. He's even good. But Klubnik just doesn't do it for me. I just don't have the gene. In that rarefied air category, he does not exist for me.
No, Nussmeier does.
He was good. He was gritty. Played a hell of a game.
Nussmeier checks the boxes for me, man.
Yeah. I get it.
I mean,
Oklahoma State.
He stood there. Nussmeier stood in there, took some hits. He led. It was obvious to me. I mean, it was kind of like Jackson Dartish, the way he leads. If I'm an NFL team and I'm like, hey, I need a quarterback, I need a dude who can be my guy, he checked a lot of boxes.
And I guess that's my point, is if I'm sitting there in that draft room and I got to go Nussmeier or Klubnik, I'm not spending 5 seconds on that decision.
No.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, we can go ahead and order the pizza. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
We're going with Nuss all day. Look, I thought LSU was good. I'm just going to I'm not saying they're world beaters, they're undefeated. I didn't say any of that. I've learned you're not allowed to say anything like that because I thought they looked good. You got to give them credit. There were moments in that game where they could have let go a little bit, and they didn't. They were relentless. Credit to them.
Oklahoma State has just completely fallen off the table. They are 28.5-point underdogs at Autzen in Eugene, Oregon on Saturday. This is an afternoon game between the Ducks and the Cowboys. Georgia, Austin P. Sure, whatever. Georgia did it to us again. Just can't cover those big lines. I knew better, and I just
it was there, and then I
know.
Oh man.
Well, A&M did the same thing. They gave up that freaking late touchdown for no freaking reason. Oh, God.
Kentucky did it. I mean, I was going to get a win on the McCready-Siski thing. Well, on our line, Kentucky covered.
Yeah.
But on the McCready-Siski line, it was 10. And the Cats had it, and then they blew it. I think I went 3-3, which is as good as I'm going to do in that competition.
But you got your money line.
I did get my money line, so
that helps.
Technically positive, but yeah. I mean, I have no chance.
If you want to see somebody with zero confidence on something, it's Neal and the McCready and Siski picks for the season.
My confidence is so bad on that I literally do no prep. I just look at it on Thursday and go, that one. I got Utah. Utah beat UCLA and covered.
They did by a lot. But Nico said it's just week one. All their goals are still in front of them, so it's fine.
Well, technically true. Technically true.
True. Podcast brought to you in part by NE Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available, whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends. They offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. That's up from 1 gigabit. To learn more, register for service, nespark.com. NeSpark. Get connected. Stay local.
Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. We're brought to you by Parrish Brewing Company. I bought their Oktoberfest yesterday. I haven't tried it yet. My bet is it's going to be fantastic. I was going to go get the coffee stout, but Parham bought it all, so I couldn't get it.
It's awesome. I tried that for the first time on Friday at Chicory. They had that as one of our options for the little not happy hour, but little pregame thing, and it was. I was very happy with the coffee stout and the sour. I forget what it's called. Maybe you have it in front of me, but the sour was also awesome on Friday night.
And so I think you bought some coffee stout and took it home.
You got a hard time finding it? Is that what you're saying?
It was not there.
Okay.
It was very disappointing. But I will look for it. It will be there, and when it arrives, I will get it because I have learned that Parrish Brewing Company products are just fantastic. Whatever kind of beer you like, pilsners, IPAs, stouts, sours, try Parrish Brewing Company. You'll be very glad that you did. I'll have a mailbag up on Wednesday. It'll be brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you as a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty, a supporter of all things Ole Miss. Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously, so call and ask Art How, 612-805-5929, or email art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. If you are looking for a hat, see if I can find a couple Ole Miss hats. Here we go. Got them. If you're looking for your new favorite Ole Miss hat, look no further. Hovey hats are a high-quality headwear that will have your friends asking where you got them. Take a look at their collection of Ole Miss hats at Hovey, Hovi, drygoods.com. Grab your new favorite hat at hoviedrygoods.com. Made for Rebs, by Rebs. Here's a couple examples. This one's kind of the performance material. Very nice. This is corduroy. It'll get colder eventually. When it does, corduroy would be nice. That's a good looking hat. Got Vanderbilt hats. If you want Vanderbilt hat, you're a Vanderbilt fan out there. They got it. LSU, all sorts of stuff.
The Auburn. Vanderbilt, the Auburn, and the Tennessee look really good. Yeah, those are the ones that are good.
I don't know if you can really see it there. Tennessee's a good looking hat.
It's the checkerboard. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess Grime. We lost two of the big ones, but we did get the over 13 wins or whatever. So
the red Ole Miss hat from Hovey. HoviedRyGoods.com.
Podcast brought to you in part by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area and offer medicine. Free prescriptions same time each month and take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. You have everything you need when you need it with G&M. So again, that is Holly Springs or Oxford, 662-236-2222. The other one I had was, which was it's pretty high alcohol for a sour. Typically, those are a little lower alcohol. Was the Greetings from Holly Beach? Was what it was. It is a 5.6 ABV there on that. Typically, they're more in the 3 to 4 range. So. Yeah, I'm not at all a beer connoisseur. So, like you said, it's the coffee stout's decent for me. It worked, but that is not something I will ever act like an expert in any way on is beer. But I did enjoy those too. I had one of each, and then was ready to take some home. So yeah.
And yes, Jay, I got the coffee stout at Chicory.
Okay.
Not the coffee stout. I'm sorry, the Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Okay.
The coffee stout was gone.
Sorry.
It's all right.
South Florida, big win. knocking off Boise. Not just knocked them off, it beat the crap out of Boise State over the weekend or on
Yeah,
Thursday.
they did.
Florida 17.5 favored in this one in Gainesville.
Big number. It's a big number.
That is a big number.
Just saying, it's a big number for that game because South Florida, they're going to get jacked up for that game.
And it's actually going up. It's up to 18.5 in some markets.
I didn't see it, and it was Long Island. But people who did see it.
I'm not taking anything from that.
No, I'm not either. But people who did see it say Florida looked really good.
Missouri State, Marshall, Campbell, blah, blah. Give me another game that's decent. Assuming Ole Miss plays that game next year, if you want to get a look at your opponent with Charlotte next year, North Carolina's at Charlotte, so Carolina doing the same thing there. On Saturday, of course, again, they play tonight. Army, Kansas State minus 15.5. They lost in Dublin, and it took a last-second touchdown for them to beat North Dakota on Saturday. So not the best look so far for the Manhattan Wildcats there with Kansas State. Hey, This says something about Memphis, right? Memphis is only a 13-point favorite against Georgia State on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that says a lot about Memphis. I'll probably still lay them, but it does say a lot about Memphis.
Well, I'm not taking Georgia State unless they prove it to me in some way.
I think Memphis is taking a step back. Look, we're in a new era. You either have the money to buy players or you don't.
It's true. Tulane minus 10-point favorites in Mobile against South Al this weekend. South Al is falling off. Lay them. Yes, I'm with you. Feel good about the wave for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Toledo, 5.5-point favorite at home.
Don't disrespect New Orleans, Chase. Okay? Don't disrespect the city of New Orleans. When you do, things are going to happen to you.
What are we talking about?
Don't do it. John said don't. He said they wanted to wear white. Northwestern said no. He took that as disrespect to the entire city of New Orleans, and they took that personally. Be careful.
He found something. I'm kind of impressed.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, was Northwestern worried about the heat? Like, what is it? Because in a lot of ways, if you don't care, like, you're telling Tulane no on the 20th anniversary of Katrina. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
just wear the freaking jersey.
In the event that I'm not saying that John might be disingenuous. I'm not. In the event that he is being completely truthful, that was a terrible decision by Northwestern on so many levels.
Yeah, what are you doing? Good grief.
But come on, Northwestern, pretty tone deaf as an institution. So it's sort of, jives with their brand, if you will.
Pretty bad at football on Saturday, too. Tulane dominated that game from the jump.
They've been bad for a while.
Is their stadium open now?
No, it's not till next year.
Okay. We did find a line for Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech hung in there with South Carolina for the majority of the game yesterday.
They were okay.
It was fine. It was 10-8 for a long time. Virginia Tech minus 2.5 against the Commodores in Blacksburg Saturday evening, 6:30.
Wouldn't touch that one.
Is it just where I am with South Carolina because I'm in sell mode, but did that leave a little lacking for you yesterday? Did you watch much of this?
I had it on. I was working on 10 Thoughts. I had it on this TV. I had the Cubs Rockies on that TV. I was more watching the Cubs and Rockies because it was a close game. Ian Happ hit a home run, and then the Cubs blew it in the ninth. But Sellers is not very accurate, and I think it limits what they can do offensively. Now, he's a great athlete, and he at the end when they needed him to make plays, he made plays. The defensive end for South Carolina, the kid that I can't think of his name, stud. I can't think of his name right now. Someone will tell me in the stream. That dude was a handful. Virginia Tech couldn't handle him. He was really disruptive. I thought Carolina defensively looked really good. Offensively,
Dylan Stewart is who we're looking for.
Dylan Stewart. Dylan Stewart's a bad man. I mean, he's a handful. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to do this one game thing. I'm who knows. Carolina's good. They've got a chance to be. Sellers is going to give them a chance in almost any game because he is such an incredible athlete.
But
I just wonder about his accuracy.
Yeah, I do too.
But he seems to be a really smart kid. He's incredibly competitive. I think Shane's a good coach. I think there's a lot there to like. I just wonder if they're going to be very good. I wonder if they can be a playoff team.
LSU with one of the big numbers this week, minus 36.5 against the Louisiana Tech program that needs to get to FCS as quickly as possible. The Bulldogs and the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean Tech probably should, but they never will. This will just be about in a previous era. I would say, this is interesting. Louisiana Tech, this will be their Super Bowl. In today's era, most of their kids aren't even from Louisiana. They won't care. The question here will be: will LSU, after spending so much emotional capital on Clemson, will they play hard at home, or will they kind of go through the motions? And I wouldn't touch this.
Auburn 43.5 against Ball State.
Same.
That number.
Same thing.
Whew.
I mean, Auburn's perfectly capable of beating Ball State by 60. The question will be, after the Baylor thing, will they have the emotional juice to do it? Big number. But look, if I'm Hugh, I'm running it up.
Yeah.
I want everybody, because I got some juice this week. Oh, I got juice this week.
Also, it looked like the Georgia State coach was a little annoyed with Kiffin at the end of the game. He had his freaking backups in. Let them run the offense. They're paying you over $1 million to take the L. Shut up.
Yeah, and you had a kid
fine.
You had a kid assault one of the Ole Miss players before the game to the point that he was asked if he wanted to press charges. I mean, you've got bigger problems. Yeah.
Ole Miss running in a Logan Diggs touchdown and whatever is not your issue. Is this a spot for State? +7 against Arizona State in Starkville on Saturday night? I'm picking Arizona State. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I know it could be.
Yeah.
I think Arizona State's pretty good. I did think State was much improved. I really did. I thought they were much improved from a year ago.
A little slow at the beginning, Southern, whatever. And State did have 3 touchdowns called back, the penalties. If you want to play the game.
Yeah, I thought State was much improved. Credit where it's due.
Game day is in Norman on Saturday. Oklahoma -2.5 against the Michigan Wolverines. Don't know. I'm fully in. I want to see what happens, but I have no idea about this game whatsoever.
No, none.
No idea.
Interested to see Bryce Underwood on that stage. Yep. If he struggles, is the media going to say he sucks? How's that work? How do we do this? I need the ground rules for how the you suck works.
No, not him, because he's not a Manning and it's a Big Ten school.
Okay.
No, he will be given plenty of leeway for figuring it out.
Gotcha.
Yes. The Clay Helton Bowl. Georgia Southern getting 28 against USC on Saturday at 6:30. Louisiana Monroe is in Tuscaloosa, 37.5 for the line for the Crimson Tide in this.
PSA.
Yeah.
PSA. Everyone at WNSP, listen, do not even ask the question, is this game losable? Leave it alone. Don't ask. Don't ask.
History says that would be a mistake to ask that question. Please.
I mean, I'm giving people good advice. If you're running a marathon, Hal Higdon. If you are hosting a radio show at WNSP in Mobile, as long as that station is owned by Ken Johnson, do not ask, is this game losable? Even if it is, don't ask. I'm here to help. I get a bad reputation for being a bad guy, and I'm just passing out advice. I'm getting nothing for this. There's nothing in this for me. I'm not running a marathon. I've already run marathons. I'm not hosting the show in WNSP. I've already done that. I'm just giving out advice, Chase.
Oh, that's a good point. McIntyre's right. They will say Portnoy was stupid for spending money on Underwood. Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
okay.
You
They'll
found
go
it.
after Dave. They'll go after Dave. That makes sense. Yeah, because Dave's conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
We get Nico against Dan Mullen on Saturday night. UNLV getting 2.5 at home against the Bruins and Nico.
Probably go with UNLV here.
Okay. Okay. Neal at 9:15 p.m. is going to need him a game. His game is going to be Stanford getting 18.5 at BYU on Saturday evening. Watching the Cardinal and
Oh, I'd
boys from
probably
Provo.
I will not be watching, but I probably would lay the 18.5.
Yeah, I think I would too. Stanford did not look like a good football team.
No. They'd beat the shit out of Georgia State, but no. What would happen? What would the line be? Okay, here we go. What would the line be on Georgia State versus Stanford on a neutral field? Stanford
minus 16.
12? Okay, 16.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's the line if Ole Miss plays Stanford in Waco?
Ole Miss minus 37.5.
Yeah. I mean, they were bad. Good God. They were a bad football team. I guess I give Andrew Luck credit, but good Lord, what are you doing?
If
Go do anything else.
Let's say Georgia State and Stanford met halfway, so somewhere in Texas. How many people would show up for that game, and how sick would those people be?
There would be more people just locally in Texas that love football that just happen to go across the street for a game than there would be anyone coming from either of those fan bases to watch said game.
Yeah.
There'd be some folks in Dallas that went, hell, I don't know. Why not?
That's where I'd like to walk up those people in the second quarter and go, why?
Oh, Grind says Stanford minus 4. He's really down on the Cardinal.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Holy. Oh, wow. Give me BYU on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough. And then if you really need a game, Sam Houston, Phil Longo is in Honolulu to face the Hawaii Warriors on Saturday evening.
I've never needed a game that bad.
Hawaii giving 9.5 to Longo's boys.
Got nothing.
Okay. You got nothing.
I can't imagine ever getting to a point in my life where I would watch that.
Would not want to be, speaking of Arizona State as we close the show, wouldn't want to be the Arizona State AD. He had to come out and apologize to his fans on Saturday because their game was being streamed on ESPN. And everybody was blaming ESPN for the issue. You couldn't get the game. There was all kind of technical difficulties, and it was an in-house problem on Arizona State's end. Nothing to do with ESPN at all. Arizona State in-house was not proficient with getting the feed out to its masses. Not the best day.
No, not a good day. They're good, though.
It is Tempe, and they're good.
They're good
I think they're a little overrated after last year, though. Like, it's marginal and it's relative, but
yeah,
that's why I'm not just completely whatever on that one. So.
It's a big opportunity for Jeff Lebby Saturday. That would be a big, 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 big win for them. Big.
Yeah. We have Lane later in the day today, typically around noon. That's at 1:15 scheduled for his Monday press conference. We'll have whatever he says to you at Rebels 24/7. Remember, one more day, I guess almost 2 complete days, but not quite, a little under 2 days, with this flash sale still going till 10:59 Central on September the 2nd. That is 75% off at Rebels 24/7, rebels247.com. So help us out and help yourself out as well. Come join us, VIP community there at Rebels 24/7. So take care, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.